Oh dear God, we are struggling for frames today for some bizarre reason. Uh, Hi Jack, hi Brooklyn. Hope you're both doing well. Yeah, we seem to be for some reason dropping a lot of frames. I don't know if OBS has done like some kind of update overnight. It shouldn't have done. I didn't set it to update. I specifically don't update stuff because I know stuff like this will happen. But I know. I hope you are all well. Let me. Oh, let's leave this song on for a bit, and then I can move over to the lo-fi. I've been disconnected from the stream a lot. Yeah, that is very weird. It may be the laptop. It may be I'm pushing the laptop too much. So a little bit about. So I know we talked about a lot of stuff in the last stream, as I always do. Um, the first one is, if they can find it. Aha! We have links to Discord. I spent a copious amount of time trying to work out how Nightbot works. I also tried, and unsuccessfully, tried to get a VTube Studio working, and it didn't. It was a case of I couldn't really figure it out. It was a lot of messing around, and I think if I am at this point, I am just gonna have to basically dig the desktop out and get that all sorted. It'll be interesting. It'll be a nice little hobby project. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's literally, I literally just, I do have a laptop I could use as well. Again, it's not looking too bad now, so I'm not too sure what was going wrong there. We also have, I think we have the. Did I do the Kofi command? Yes, I did. I did do the Kofi command, and also the lurk command now works, because I know a couple of people were saying they really wanted to use lurk and it wasn't available. So I did put some time aside to make sure that lurk works for people. Sometimes people want to lurk, sometimes people want to chat. So today we are going to be doing something a little different because, hi, we are going to. So the original plan with these streams was always to basically do like art. And what essentially just happened is these streams very quickly just became Sov does whatever Sov is going to do. And some cool stuff arrived today. Let me see if I can bring it in. So I mentioned like a laptop that I salvaged from uh like not so much landfill, but it was basically it was going to get thrown away. It was quite old and I wanted to work on it. Well, some parts came for this laptop today, and I would quite like to work on it. There is just one problem with it, chat. There's just one problem with this laptop. It doesn't have a serial number. So there's our serial number for the laptop. Now you can see this laptop has a serial number. I'm gonna. Oh god. So this is a. Oh my god. Hi, Sally. This is a X1 Carbon Generation 2, I think. It took me a second. Um, oh, that's just I don't think that's a bag that we need anything for. We've got some thermal paste, because again, the thermal cube that's on there is very old. We've got the old battery. And where's the new battery? I think the battery might be in that bag I just threw away. It is in that bag I just threw away. Um, So yeah, I do have I have looked at the service manual, and so the plan here is essentially we're just going to open it up, and we are. I'm going to have some of the cereal actually. I'm going to get rid of that 'cause I don't need it anymore. And I shouldn't put batteries in the trash either because that's not good. So I have taken this apart before, and I roughly know what I'm doing. I didn't seal it up all the way. I basically sealed it up just as much as I could without it being a danger. Um, So let's move that off to the side. Here's the laptop. It's a laptop. What more do you want? First thing we're going to want to do is just move these screws. We want to remove this big battery here. And I'm so I have like a top of a technical. I don't know why it's deleting your message, Panda. That there's definitely something I need to. I don't. I yeah. I don't get that. Is there a way I can? Ooh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't. I left it as vanilla, so it's possible that it's added like a profanity filter. I think I'm thinking Nightbot is being too strict. I didn't modify it at all, so it's yeah. I think let me actually go into Nightbot settings and just blacklist word phrases. Okay, that should be disabled now. Nightbot is inherently strict. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, hi Brian. Nightbot is the strict teacher. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Nearly the weekend. Nearly the weekend. Which is what we want. Something I love about these kind of laptops is they're very anti-MacBook. As they say, as they are currently daily driving a MacBook. I was thinking about it earlier actually, and to be honest, genuinely, I'm not a huge fan of all the Windows laptops out there, especially not the consumer stuff. Just they're all yeah, you go, there's the battery out. You have to obviously lithium-ion battery. Be very careful with what you're doing. You know, safety first. If you can take if you can take extra steps to stop it exploding, then you really want to be taking them. Okay, so we've got the laptop there. The next thing I know we want to get rid of is take the SSD out. So yeah, this is a sovereign tech tip for you. Don't spend a bajillion pounds, dollars, or whatever your local currency is on a laptop. Just dumpster dive, find an old ThinkPad, and then spend £5 on parts. I mean, the thermal paste was like £3, and I think the battery was even less than that. And it was an Amazon. Actually, no, it cost me. So it cost me nothing because work gives us like Amazon credit every year, and I don't tend to just go, oh, I have all this credit, I need to buy stuff. No, I stockpile it simply because I don't see the point in just buying stuff for the sake of buying stuff. So I'll just put it on there and then just sort of use it as of when I need it as a buffer. And if I see, oh, okay, I need thermal paste or I need like batteries or stuff like that, I don't really have to take it into consideration for budgets. We've removed the SSD, we've removed the Wi-Fi card. I don't actually know what this is. I think this is like a sort of like a 3G antenna. This does actually have a SIM card thingy in it, which is last time was quite problematic. Next stage is I need to remove the fan. It's just like a Lego stream, but it's quite a lot more advanced, I suppose. I'm not. The reason why it looks like this is easy, I replace desktop parts, I don't really mess with laptops. I tend not to either, but again, this is very low risk. If we mess this up, I've not lost anything. I've lost at most £5. A bit of time, maybe I've learned some stuff. However, I have a stupid Acer Aspire that has a loose charging port. Yeah, I've had Acer Aspires before. My first laptop was an Acer Aspire, actually. I'm not a huge fan of consumer laptops, and the reason for that is just they're built I mean everything's built to a price point these days, but they're built in such a way that after they need to be replaced. I need to grab a let's go into my makeup bag. Actually, I know I've got some Oh, come on. It's catching on everything. Come on, you can get off the monitor. Thank you very much. It's my makeup bag. I have some wipes in here. I know you're an Acer Aspire Soft, and Acer knows an Acer. Oh my god. That's awful. That's awful, but oh god, that's terrible. Um but you can have that. You can absolutely have that. Okay, so to be honest, even if I didn't have to remove the fan to get to the battery, the thermal compound on here has gotta be at least, I mean, look at that. That's gotta be at least 10 years old. I can already feel it like really sort of crusting over, so just doing this is probably going to improve the longevity of the laptop quite a lot. Make it a lot cooler and just make it last longer. Being acer than the other aces. Pretty much, Jack, pretty much. Oh no, not Jack, Brooklyn. Sorry, I've got your mouse. Audio only. Yes, you are audio only. Okay, so it's looking... It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you know, not everything needs to be perfect. I mean, look at me. I'm not perfect. Despite what many people may tell you. Nobody's perfect. Okay, let's get this thermal compound off here. I actually need to be careful I'm not touching other stuff, to be honest. Really should have bought some like bog roll or something in. Okay, that's looking good. Um, the other big problem with this laptop, I do actually have some. I do have some tissues. Okay, that's fine. The other issue with this laptop is the main battery doesn't work, and I only noticed that because when I booted it up, it was moaning that it couldn't find the time. Okay, it's looking nice and shiny. Everybody, I'm sorry, Jack. You won't be able to say that. But look at how shiny that is. That's fantastic. Okay, so next thing we need to do is everything's removed. So we want to move this bracket. Again, I've already disassembled it once, and disassembling laptops is like anything. You know, it's like riding a bike. Once you've done it once, it's easy to retrace your steps. Okay, so I know this one needs to come off. I know this one here needs to come off. That needs to come off. So the thought, this needs to come off. That needs to come off, and then I think this one needs to come off too. Okay. Alright, so, and then there's a sim eject. Barely met Saeed, but she very amazing. You all are amazing. Like, you're all fantastic, all amazing, amazing people. I'm proud to be friends with every single one of you. Okay, now I know you need a sim ejector, and I don't think I have one to hand. I know there's one in the bag here somewhere. Oh, I know there's one in this bag here. Here we go. Yep, sim ejector. Um, I used to keep. Apologies, you can't hear me very well, but I used to have. Sorry, you're a good thing. I used to have sim ejectors on my keys all the time. There you go. Obviously, asexual banner and aromantic, which no longer applies. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Right, if you want people to know your pronouns, I can't remember the extension off the top of my head. Actually, if I load up Chrome, manage extensions, Twitch pronouns. Yep. I could go and Eligio. That could be it, actually. Let me get this Simaject tool down, and I would actually like to turn that into a Nightbot command, because it'd be good to have. There we go. Okay. That's off. That can go back on. Okay. I'm surprised I can use the camera so well, because again, I've got this sort of microphone just sort of mounted here, and I am noticing that I can't. My audio is very, very bad. Oh no, I'm looking. Hold on. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the Mac OS. I was just like, why is the audio capture so long? That's not my microphone. Okay, let's have a look. So Nightbot. Twitch. Here we go. Okay, so command and C commands, new command. Now I don't know if I'm going to need to. Okay, so that should. If I create that new command. Okay, so theoretically now. My chat keeps on disconnecting. I don't know if it's a me thing. There we go. So there's the link. There is also an extension you can use in Chrome. It means I don't have to guess as well. I know what everybody uses. I wish real life had that, to be honest. Just having to guess. And again, if you're not sure, just ask. Like, it's okay not to know. Another thing I do is if I'm really not sure and it's just not a situation where I can ask, which is very rare, I will just default to they. Like, it's just, I feel like that's a good thing to do. Okay, so the sim tray is out. Now this, I think that's the one I used in Tears stream. Okay. Okay, so this should, it's wanting to lift out. No, hold on. There we go. There we are. There we are. Right, so you can see there's the two batteries here. So this is the old battery, one on my left, and then this is the new battery. And you can see the wire. The wire on the new battery is just slightly bigger, so I've had to loop it around. So that shouldn't cause too much of an issue. So let's... Okay. Which way does this bloody connector go? Let me see it, to be honest. I mean, it can only go in one way, I think. Oh, there we are. Usually default to that too with whiskers when people sometimes or don't. Yeah, that's another valid point. Like, I mean, it's not. This is really not really working. Okay, let's. Yeah, that's a very valid point. I feel like my hope then is just people go, actually, do you mind using this? And I go, yeah, absolutely, of course I don't mind. Okay, so now theoretically, do I have any double... I don't have any double-sided sticky tape. I do have regular sticky tape, though, but I don't know where it is. And no, it's here. It's here. There we are. I've got sticky tape. it also have scissors somewhere. I'm sure if it had scissors earlier. Here we are. One thing I always do, if I like fancy scissors, I have like a holder on top of them just so the blade is never exposed. It's just a safety thing. But I don't keep scissors just laying around. I do keep them in specific places. So if I ever need scissors, I can just sort of go from there. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to shave out on stream, so we'll leave them there, but they'll keep them sheathed. Okay, so I'm gonna just there should be fine. Here we are. There we are. So there is our battery. Yep, all nice and connected. That looks good. Okay. So now we have to wire it all around and back. So we theoretically have now got a working CMOS battery. That's fantastic. Okay. So at this point, we're going to want to... how are we going to do this? That should go as yeah. Okay. Bend down. I don't need to plug these in, I just need to make sure they're away from the connector so I can screw it down and then I can insert everything. I hope you're all enjoying this actually. I hope it's not too boring. I'm interested to know what everyone else's experience level is like, to be honest. Like, do anyone else do like desktop, laptop repairs? Is this like a new thing you've sort of been exposed to? How comfortable would you feel doing this? I suppose it's different depending on what sort of laptop you're working on. If you're working on like it's your only laptop, it's the only thing you have, it can be very daunting. But if it's like this and it's just, oh, I don't really care if it works or not because it costs basically nothing, then you can kind of, again, if it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. So that's not connecting flush. I'm trying to work out why. Yeah, it's just having a bit of difficulty going up against the side. I'm trying to work out why. Might be at an angle. No. It's like that everywhere. Okay. Maybe I do need to just push it. Time to go to sports. I'll be looking. No worries, Brian. I hope sports goes well. We just need to. Well, one thing I could do as well is I could look at the sim tray because that will lock it in place. Yeah, yeah. That's for top. Okay. Yep. So there's the. I probably can't see it. There's the top side, and there's the me side. I do wonder if it's because, oh no, don't want to do that. It's because of the CMOS battery. I didn't mean to take that out. It's not going. Yeah, it's not going back in. Okay, so why? Why are we not going back in? That's very... Yeah, I don't quite know why this isn't sitting flush. It might just be because of where the battery is. Yeah, I think that might be it, actually. Okay, maybe that is actually it, so it does need to go there and be recessed. Okay, that's fine. Like, it doesn't... It's not a massive issue, so... No, it's still being a bit weird. There we are. Come on. There we get... Okay. That looks a lot more promising. Still not quite flush. Don't quite understand why, though. Should be. There's no resistance. Nothing stopping it from being flush. It just doesn't seem to... We have to wiggle it a bit. It doesn't seem to want to do it. Yeah, it is very strange. It wasn't doing this before. It's in a recessed hole, so no reason why it shouldn't go just straight in. Okay. Let's put... Oh, yeah, okay, there's a bit... There's a few bits getting stuck, but nothing major. Just need to pull them out. Pull them out. Okay. Okay, so that seems to be everything. Ooh. Why are we... Oh, okay, maybe that's it. Nope. Yeah, it just seems to be arcing quite madly. Which I don't understand. Like, there's no resistance, nothing stopping it from just sit. Ah, there we are. I think it's just a case of angle. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. So, let's put a couple of these screws in. And I think at that point, might do a big no. We could open her up. Could just run some power. I don't want to run it. It's been sent to the Shadow Realm for Eeps back soon. No worries, Brooklyn. Enjoy your look. Thank you very much for joining. And have a wonderful time. I love having that command. It's really good. The question is, how many screws do I put in? I'm not too sure. That is a very good question. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to turn this around so I can see it. Now, I could run it as this, like this, without the SSD and without... Now running it bare bones without anything is what's called breadboarding, essentially. So, okay, so we need to remember our thermal goop. Let's put this on now. I think we get to the point. We'll put the first one on. I don't actually know how we take this off. Ah, there's like a thin film on it. Okay. And, there we go. Seemed to work. Yep, just having a bit to think about it. I should. I don't need to take the whole thing off, just. Ooh, I've got goop on my hands. Oh, rebuilding. Oh, hi, Argy. I hope you're doing well. So, we are doing a bit of a background. Oh, I've got thermal goop of this stuff on it. So, what we're doing today is this backstory between. So, this is a Lenovo. Plastic on my fingers. This is a Lenovo X1 Carbon Gen 2 from I think 2011, 2012. And what they're essentially a family member who used to work in IT had this. Thank you so much for shouting out Argy, Jack. I really appreciate it. Was going to get rid of this, and I went, well, no, I can fix it. I hate stuff going to the landfill. So we've literally just replaced the CMOS battery because the CMOS battery in this thing is dead. We are annoyingly, you have to remove the heatsink and fan in order to actually get to the CMOS. So I thought, okay, well, let's just get some more thermal grease, apply it on here, and apply it on here. It just means the whole thing's going to last a little bit longer. Currently, I can fix it. Me and my tasting partners, honestly, same. Don't be me and date a like three dismissive avoidance in a row. Yep. That is a lot of goop. That is definitely a lot of goop. I don't know if that's yeah, that's no, that's way too much. We're gonna have to start again. I scored really well on this actually. So this cost me nothing, money wise up front. I had to spend an afternoon basically. The person I got this from was basically like, okay, I don't know if there's like sensitive stuff on here. Emily has fixed me. That's cute. Can you wipe the hard drive? So I downloaded something called ShredOS. Now, what that is it's a Linux distribution that has like a secure wipe function built in, and it was taking like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, I think that's going to be good to do. And so that was then formatted. I then just quickly installed Linux Mint onto it, which is what it's currently running, just to verify it all worked. Seeing if he was happy for me to basically take it away from the vicinity, and he was like, "Yep, looks all good, looks all cleared. Enjoy your new laptop." And then the CMOS was a Amazon job, and this screw doesn't feel right. That screw doesn't feel right at all. Am I on an angle? I might be on an angle. A lot of it's also just a case of we have that new grease on there, so it's going to feel a bit. It's going to feel a bit like it's moving around, whereas before, because it had old thermal grease on it, it was going to feel a bit less flexible. My hope as well is this means the laptop will run a lot cooler, maybe run a little bit faster. And they definitely run a lot quieter. Okay, is that in? Yes. That's secured, but it's not plugged in. So let's go ahead and plug it in. There we are. Okay, fan is in. So all we have to do now is connect the motherboard. So let's go ahead and wire that up. I feel like I do have a photographic, kind of a photographic memory, to be honest, because I have only disassembled this laptop once before, and I was following the diagram. Because the brilliant thing about old business laptops is they give you a full-on service manual to look through, and it gave you like the steps and everything, and I love that. I've actually said the next laptop I get, I may end up getting a framework for that very reason, because again, that one's an absolute pain in the arse to get, so I'm going to move on to one of the other ones. Because yes, framework are expensive. I know they're very, very, very pricey, but you pay for the repairability. And again, buy once, cry once, as the old saying goes. Whereas something like the MacBook, which I am currently using, look, back into unlock, back for like 10 minutes. Oh, awesome! The unlock command doesn't work. That's still on the list, but I'm glad you're back, Brooklyn. But no, none of my. Oh, I didn't think unlocked works yet. I do need to. It is very much going to be like it was with the Discord for the longest time, of just I kind of just wing it, and then as stuff doesn't work, I go in and fix it. As is the story of my life, to be honest. Okay, this one's proving to be a bit problematic. Oh, ah, it's in. Yeah, got it in. Chat, don't take that out of context. Right, that one is in as well. Okay, so I think I'm now at the point. Oh, this could go very wrong. You got it in? Yes, I got it in. So, okay, this is where everything could go horribly wrong. Let's unplug this. Okay, so I'm about to plug it in. Okay. Well, it didn't immediately blow up, so that's always positive. Let's go ahead and power it on. Okay, so it doesn't power on. That's not good. It's not doing anything. Have I forgotten any connectors? That's not good at all. Okay, so what could it be? Could be this one here. I also don't have a battery in, so that could be it. So it's coming from here. So I see no reason why that wouldn't work. It could be a case of it just won't boot without the battery. Is a very real part. There's also no storage in it. I wonder if it won't boot without certain bits, which feels a bit weird, but okay, there we go. So it could. Yeah, I reckon it could be the fact that there's no storage in it. So how's everyone's evenings or respective times of day going? I'll be so annoyed if we go through all of that and this doesn't work. Yeah, and it's no big loss. Like, all right, try it again. Okay. Had a bit of a rubbish day, doing work now, and body doubling with you. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. But yeah, feel free to talk. Why are you not working? Yeah, why has it not been such a great day? If you're comfortable talking about it, of course. Like, if you're not, I completely respect that. Okay. Genuinely, the only thing this could be is the fact that it just will not boot without some kind of battery, which I find difficult to believe. Come. In you go. Oh my god, in you go. It's not bloody difficult. Go in the hole. Look, the hole is right there. Please go into it. Thank you. Okay. Ugh. Okay, I'm in. I'm sick, nothing bad, just a cold, just a whole week, so I'm having a calm day. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around, but yeah, I hope you have a decent recovery. It's never fun. To me, this looks like you're doing rocket science. I've done this for many years. Yeah, no, it's just not. It's not turning on. Okay, so there's no power. So it isn't the battery. Okay, well let's disconnect that then. So the question is, why is it now decided it doesn't feel like turning on? Won't be proximity sensors. I will stuff overwhelming me with an awful situation. I'll be more worried about it soon, but for now, big whelm. Completely understandable. Whatever it is, I hope it gets resolved quickly and in the best way possible. DMs are always open. I barely know how to turn a PC on. I'm like that, but with people. Oh my god. Um, yeah, no, I hope things get resolved soon. Argue that's never a fun situation to be in. Damn. I know I'm terrible. Um, I want to know why on earth this. I don't have that problem. No, Jack, you don't. Why on earth? Right, this is. Yeah, I'm not too sure why this isn't turning on. There's no reason for it to not turn on. Could also solve that's a damn lie. I know, I know. So my question now is why is this not turning on? There's something not quite right. So it's not. It might be actually. Let's try and put the antennas back in and see what it does, because that's the only thing that's not currently in that the laptop is expecting. So let's get these in and then try. I really don't think that's going to be the case. Quick put on your laser crosswave, that'll turn it on. I've been getting really good at it, actually. Like, I've been spending a lot of time just... Yes! It was that. Yes! Are we going to get the error? That was what it was. Okay. It's still moaning about the... There you go. It's still moaning about the CMOS. Default configuration use real-time clock error, check date and time. I probably shouldn't actually show that. But yeah, okay. So that's what it was. So we have a working laptop. Um, it's often not enough to turn something on without a cosplay. I mean, even if I can't, I can fix your laptop. Like, okay, so uh, okay, so massive points there, to be honest. The CMOS is still not picking up. I don't quite understand why. That would to me indicate more of a terminal connection issue. Let's go ahead and power it down. Obviously, there's been alert, be back soon. No worries. I still can't believe that. So it wouldn't pick it up because there wasn't a card in it. Okay, well, one thing I am noticing from this is, take care, Sally. Hope you have a wonderful day. Is that it is running significantly cooler. Um, I'm not, I'm not too worried about the CMOS because again, I'm gonna be okay. Take care, Brooklyn. Hope you have a lovely day. Um, Once I get the CMOS, the actual proper battery sorted, the CMOS shouldn't be much of an issue. But it's just a case of I don't get paid for a little bit. My battery's like 25 quid. I don't need it right now, but it's just more something to play around with. So yeah, this is a sovereign top tip for you. Don't spend a million billion trillion pound on a laptop. Just dumpster dive one and then fix it yourself. It's what my granddad used to do with bikes. Actually, he used to repair bikes himself. It was the only way he could afford it, really. Like he he at one point he built a bike completely out of spare parts, and it was so incredible that it was actually in the newspaper. And when because he moved to New Zealand back in 2016, and he had like an old BMW. They used to call it a bubble car, and it was the only working one in New Zealand. I think they sold it actually. Um, 4 years, nearly 4 years since he passed. It's quite a sad thought, to be honest. He lived a really good life, to be honest. It's quite amazing he lived as long as he did, actually, considering he barely ate anything that wasn't fried. Um, it wasn't until a couple of years until after I don't know which way these terminals go. I so obviously when Grandad was growing up, you know, the autism spectrum wasn't really a thing, and I'm obviously we can't diagnose him now because he's no longer around. But I am convinced because of just a couple of the things that he had. Like he was obsessed with certain things, and he was like he had an obsession with like motorbikes and. My Google's gone out. Okay. You can't diagnose him, but there's signs. Absolutely. Um, but yeah, like I say, like it didn't impede his ability to live a life. He lived a very good life. Can't get this on. Yeah, that is going to be the next job. Is going to be to get a maybe it just only connects to one. So that black one is connecting to the bottom one. Um, but yeah, I've been repairing laptops for years and years and years, and again, it's just like riding a bike. You never forget what you're doing. And I built desktops looking at our relatives with a current knowledge of ASD, mental health challenges. It's tough. It is, especially if they struggled earlier in life, because it's a case of if they got the support that they needed, how would it have affected their quality of life? It's a difficult question to ask. Like sometimes it affects the quality of life, sometimes you power through it. Like for a lot of people, it's not a case of they powered through it because, you know, they were strong. They powered through it because they didn't really have much of a choice. Like, you can call me a bite. I go, oh my god. Fuck. Oh my god, that is terrible. Okay, so I think... I mean, argue if you ever need like computer um, inquiries, literally, my DMs are always open. I'm always happy to talk about stuff. Like I feel like I've done it all at this point. Like, it's one of the reasons I don't use. I used to run Windows many years ago, and it was good. You know, it was all right. Um, oh yeah, there's a thingy for my link tree. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, there's links for Discord. If you want to check out my art socials, that is on there too. If you want to either get us a commission or if you want to just support the channel, the Ko-Fi is there too. You say it all, but I know I could feel about it at least. I mean, maybe. Okay, so that is on. The wires are going through there. Um, I live with a one-woman tech support who's been trying to get me to convert to Linux for years. Very tempted with the shitification of Microsoft. So, when it comes to Linux, the one thing I would recommend is... So I will go off on a bit of a tangent and then I will get back to the point. The other thing I wanted to do as well... Just had a call from my grandmother. She's having, like, issues with stuff. I wanted to have the camera out because I wanted to do that. I completely forgot to do that. I read somewhere the other day that Microsoft has been using AI to generate about 15% of Windows, and that would explain so much. Um, the one thing I will say, argue about Linux is it can be intimidating. It can really be intimidating as a newcomer, as somebody who's never used Linux before. I completely get it. It's very intimidating. There's a lot of stuff out there, you know, little things like which distribution do I go for? Which, you know, there's like, there's so many, you don't even know where to start. My recommendation for starting is either Ubuntu or Mint. And I say that because I started with Ubuntu many years ago. Um, And the one thing I will say is you can with a lot of Linux distributions you can do basically what's basically a try before you install. So you boot it from USB, play with it for a bit. If you don't like it, you pick something else. Um, the only other thing I'll say is if you're running a desktop, which I'm assuming you are, um, support support for GPUs on AMD, fantastic. Support for NVIDIA isn't that great because a lot of the drivers are proprietary. So if you are going, yeah, I would say if you're gonna use Linux, go for an AMD GPU. The other thing you could do, find like a busted laptop and run it on there. It depends on what you're gonna want to do. Obviously, I know you stream, um, so obviously stuff like OBS works fine. Um, I know there was like issues with certain sort of like XLRs and stuff like that, but that's probably been patched out. Camera software works fine. Um, the other thing is Linux uses a lot less resources. Um, and again, gaming's not really an issue anymore either because of Valve and Proton. So I would say you could either do a couple of things. Get a spare laptop. Yeah, it's the streaming stuff from the games essentially that I'm most worried about. Plus, you know, changing everything and having to learn it. You really don't have to learn all that much, to be honest. There's so many guides, and a lot of the stuff is just you just install it. If you're really not sure, I suppose you could use Bazzite, which is a fork of SteamOS. I would say, hmm, I feel I feel like Bazite would be a good let me have it. Let me get a link for it, because I run Bazite on the desktop, and it's predominantly designed for uh, Windows handhelds. So, you know, the Lenovo Legion Go, the Asus ROG Ally. It can also be installed on desktops, which I have done. It does also have like a full desktop mode you can run it in. And the thing about it is it has something, it's a persistent, no, I think it's like a persistent, no, it's something about it. So if you download it and completely screw it up, you can just reboot it and it'll be fine. I have a laptop that I rarely use, so I think the first thing I'll do is install Linux and that and try and get used to it. That's a really good idea. The other thing as well is obviously Proton is really, really good at the moment. Um, and what Proton is, um, I'm assuming everybody in this chat knows about the story of Proton. There was this one guy, he really, really, really wanted to play near Automata, but there was no support for it. So he single-handedly wrote a load of like a giant translation layer, which is the backbone of Proton. So the whole reason why we have Proton is because one guy didn't want to run Windows, really, really wanted to play Near Automata, and that's just, I love that. Okay, so I'm a bit annoyed that the CMOS battery thing didn't work. Certified gamer moment, absolutely. But at the very least, we've got some more thermal grease in there. When we get that new battery, it should be fine. Laptop still works fine. How long have we been going for? We've been going for just under an hour, so... Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the next step, is just putting a new battery in this thing, which shouldn't be difficult. It's just a drop-in replacement. One second, get that when I get paid, I think. I've got cons to pay for as well. Hoping to go to Medicon in March. Alright. God damn it, I've got thermal grease all over it. There we go. That's looking good. And I love how old ThinkPads look. Like, look at that. Look at the keyboard on that. Like, that's... And this is... The other thing as well is this is, like... When they... Oh my god. I'll allow that. Y'all are degenerates. What? Oh my god. Excess caps disabled. Oh, I've got to disable that. Okay, give me a sec. Move. Move. I won't just. No, I will disable links. That's fine. Nightbot and I have a long history of fighting. It's all good. I literally only set it up yesterday. It's like a SIM card holder. Like, there's the... So, here's the SIM card tray. That's the top side. And then, that's my side. Second time I made that joke, but I don't think you were here for it. I'm trying to put the top and the bottom. I mean, that's normally how it goes, but there you go. Okay, so that's all in. Plugged in, so let's go ahead and plug in. And it turns on automatically. Okay. F1 to hall monitor at best. Okay. Beep and alarm. Keyboard beep disabled. Date and time. What are we on? We're on the 20. Oh, of course, it's American time for some reason. 2026, and what time are we on? We're on 1840. F10 to save. Okay. I have a hunch you could never put the top on the bottom. I mean, it depends who's helping. I mean, what? I just use custom permissions. Okay, is this going to work? Okay, yeah. That seems to be, that's kind of quite normal. And yet, coming into Linux Mint. Having a bit of a think. There we go. It's gonna want my. It's gonna want my password. That's cool. Okay, so. Okay, so. Yeah, all running good. Background by Nagafer. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking decent. So obviously, I do need to. The only question I have now, I take the power out. I'm back in. We don't get the error. I think the CMOS works. Okay, so let's take it out again and enter it. And then we're going to try and interrupt the startup. F1. Control S. No, it's cleared it. Oh, that's annoying. To be fair, Alkia switch servers top will go pretty much anywhere if you ask them to. Okay. 22, 20, 26, 18, 43, F10, yes. I think there is an issue. I do think with CMOS batteries bucket. So let's turn it off, unplug it. Let's try her again. System CMOS check some bad. Okay. Okay, so what I think I need to do completely clear it. Okay. Okay. So the only other issue is it's not gonna. I don't quite understand this. Yeah, I don't think the. Yeah, because it's not keeping the keyboard beep should be disabled. Okay. It's not keeping. Yeah. Okay. That's annoying. Oh, it does only have 8 gigs of RAM. Okay. I mean, 8 gigs of RAM on a Linux machine isn't actually that bad. But no, argue that does sound like a good idea. In regards to Linux, just use the crappy. If you just use the old laptop, get used to it. You can also run it in a virtual machine. So if you want to run it on your desktop, have a bit of a play with it. Again, a lot of games use Proton. You can also use ProtonDB, which I will go ahead and try and find. It's just kicking out. It's getting quite warm. Doesn't normally get this warm. Not making any noise, so. Just want to see if the actual fans are spinning. Should be. Okay, so looks like it's doing good. Great. That's all good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn and listen to just yapping for a bit, I think. But we can sort of finish up. Here we go. Yeah, that all looks good. Laptop is running fine. It's a shame about the CMOS battery. But again, you can't win them all. Hopefully when we get the new battery, cute cat. Thank you so much. It was it was an art commission. I cannot remember their name, but they were so amazing, and they are criminally underpriced. Like I feel like I feel like I say that to all artists' foes that they're criminally underpriced, but then I'm looking at it of I would happily pay more than that, but there you go. Okay, so that's all good. Unsuccessful, annoyingly, but it was a lot of fun. Um, I do need to do some more art on my channel. I feel like I've done basically no art this month, and that's not good. The other thing I did have a look at is I did play around with YouTube. All artists are criminally underappreciated. I know where you're going there. I know where you're going there. Um, yeah, no, I do need to do some more. I do need to draw more because I haven't really drawn this month, and that's not really good. I need to keep the skills up. I've just had other stuff that I've been doing. It's also just not been in the right headspace. You have to be in a specific headspace when you're doing art. I'm really glad that we've done that laptop. That is fantastic, because every single morning I am just like, move the camera, the microphone. I'm always just like, what are we going to do this stream? And then I normally just figure out, oh, we'll do this, or oh, we'll do that. I think I need to get that desktop working. I think I need to get it to the point where I can start using that for streaming, because I am, especially, it's just about managing now. But with if I'm going to start using a VTuber model, I already know it's going to struggle and struggle hard. So I think that is the plan. Again, that runs Linux. It does an absolutely fantastic job. And you just don't have to deal with Microsoft's crap. I remember when I used to run Windows PCs, I would have no end of issues. I remember at one point, the loads of applications just one day just refused to open. And I think Windows had just deleted critical files all by itself. And it was just like, why have you done this? And so I had to reinstall the whole OS, which is just, you shouldn't have to do it. An operating system should just work, which is for the reason why I love macOS so much, because for all of the annoyances of macOS, I am assured that I will just boot the laptop up and it will just work. The only issue with macOS is obviously everything's a paid thing. If you want to do anything, you've got to pay for it. It's like if I wanted to say run a virtual machine just to play some Linux games, I need to grab. I've not drunk water in about an hour, which is really quite bad. Just give me a second. It's really bad. I need to look at. That's another thing I need to look at. I need to look at redeems. I hydrate or die straight. I need to look at redeems. That's going to be the next thing I look at. Now that I've got Nightbot up and sorted, I think I use Stream Elements for that. I don't know. Yeah, with macOS, you have to pay for absolutely everything. It does get a bit annoying. I did look at Parallels to run VMs for games, but again, it's like 60 quid a year, which for literally just being able to run a VM. It doesn't give you any images, it's just to be able to run a VM. I think when the MacBook dies, I've been eyeing up frameworks, because yes, they're expensive, but it's the upgradability at the end of the day, which is what I'm sort of looking for. But yeah, I think that's not going to be something I do this year. At the very least, I'll probably just get all of that sort of onto the desktop work, because again, I have a small living area, so I've then got to move the desktop, plug it into onto the monitor, and then when I want to use it on the TV, I have to move it all the way back. And then again, it's just a case of the configuration changes as well. To be fair, I don't know why I don't just do what I do with the Steam Deck, is just basically install all the games on the desktop and we just stream them, because that's what I've done quite a few times. In terms of, I can't really plan anything for next stream, because again, 90% of the time, I kid you not, I literally think about what I'm going to do on stream an hour before I actually go live. And it wasn't, and I was thinking this morning, I really don't know what to do for stream today. What the hell am I going to do? And then same though, that package arrived, and I was just like, oh cool, like I need to do I need to stream today. Oh, but I really wish I could like install this CMOS battery. And if I just have that brainwave of just, why don't I just stream laptop stuff? Going without a plan couldn't be me either. Again, I do need to play some more games, and I do need to. I think Jack, we've been talking about playing. I think it was V Rising for ages and ages and ages. I think the last game I played on stream, it wasn't Balatro, it was Parodius, and I think I played one level of that and went, okay, I'm done. We should. Again, I do have a lot of Steam games. I think if I can get the desktop sorted, maybe I really do struggle with games because I tend to get bored quite quickly. So I'd need to, and I'm finding that if I play a game on one stream, it's great. If I play it the next stream, it's always not great. So I think, speaking of not great, I immediately see Overwatch and I'm just like, "Ugh, are we friends in Steam? I don't know. Feel free to add me. V Rising, that was it. Um, I would love. I'd love to play Phasmophobia. I've not played Phasmophobia in a very long time. I am actually trying to remember the lot. I probably haven't played it in at least a year, and I used to be quite good at it actually. Like I used to play it on like this semi-serious difficulty, and I would just be like go in and go, yeah, it's probably this or this or this. Phasmo. I mean, I'll give you want to if you want to do like a Phasmo stream at some point, I'd be down for that. Like that sounds like it could be quite a lot of fun. Um, it's scary. It it is. I've only played that game in VR once because I do own a VR headset. I think this is when I own the Quest 2, I have a Quest 3 now, and I've only played it once, and all I remember is I was in Tanglewood, the starting house. I was in the living room. I'd even be down for non-stream. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Like, just get a few hundred games. You can always switch between every game. Technically speaking, so I have a huge Steam library, most finished. Sadly, my Steam library I started in 2011. I've got hold on, how many games do I have? Sovereign Sketches, Profile. Sadly, I have 310 games, of which I've played very very few. A lot of these were from some of these were free. Others were just from like bundles and stuff. I have Doom, Doom Eternal, Dusk, Elden Ring, which I played very little of, Factorio. I've got Honeypop, which I can't play. I've got Honeycam, which I also can't play. Um, 7-7. Oh my god. I think the first game I bought on Steam was Gary's Mod. Honeypop is too hard for me. Uh, it's the only game you can play one-handed. I, I do have Honey Pop too, but I didn't get very far in it. I just couldn't get on with that. Uh, Maybe you can. I think there's more a case of it's banned on Twitch. I've got a lot of, oh my god, I've got way too many Call of Duties. I can't get past like the fourth puzzle. So I'm surprisingly good at it. I've beaten it like 3 times, and I've beaten the game 3 times as well. Oh my god. um, Hades 2. Um, oh, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I've all right, show off. It's a lot of fun. This is the thing is like it's very much Jesus Christ, very much a case of it's very much like a ha ha funny funny game, and then you kind of get below it and you go, actually, this is really competently made. Like it's actually like I think the guy that worked on it also worked on like I think he worked for like Insomniac. Jesus has nothing to do with it. I'm just scrolling through my many games, thinking about what I could play. Polybius, that could be a bit trippy. That actually, it's got a psychedelic warning. Maybe that's not a good idea. PUBG, absolutely not. Uh, Shell Shock is alright. Oh my god, Sophie's Curse! I don't think I bought that like a bajillion years ago. Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, that is a great game. I've got a couple of Wolfensteins, and yeah, it looks like a lot. Play Elden Ring. Do it. Come to the. I'm terrible at Souls likes. I I don't rage at games, but I don't really rage at games. I just if I keep dying, I just get really bored. Well, Miami could be quite fun. Um, could do some FTL. Could do some Call of Duty Zombies. I do have the Resurrection package where I could do like a couple of hours of Derice. That could be quite fun. I have a new friend of mine. Okay, I think I have. How long have I yapped for? Oh God, I've yapped for an hour and 20 minutes. Uh, is that too frequent? Oh, I don't know. I like that. Doesn't feel like too frequent. That should be every 20 minutes. That's doing that, which is good. So yeah, next stream is probably going to be games. I don't know which one yet. I will decide. I will decide then. We've got a couple of options. I can either, if I was to do it now, I am feeling some Black Ops. I do have my PS5. We could stream Doom: The Dark Ages, which I've not really played much of. I have been wanting to do another playthrough of Doom Eternal. Again, could possibly stream that. Um, I have beaten that game on the base difficulty. I could do like a more difficult run. That could be a bit of a laugh. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure actually. I'm not too sure what I fancy. I will probably think about that on Doom Eternal. I love Doom Eternal so much. The biggest disappointment when because what I did is I had to justify to myself why to I had to earn Doom the Dark Ages essentially. So I have a personal rule. If I'm buying a game that it's a sequel, I cannot buy it until I have beaten the game that came before it. And at that point, when Doom the Dark Ages came out or was coming out, I've already beaten Doom 2016 and I'd only got about halfway through Eternal and then stopped. So I went, okay, I will buy Doom the Dark Ages, but I have to beat Doom Eternal and all of the DLCs. So rip and tear, Eternal is done. So I beat the base game. I think I played it on medium. I played it. I can't remember what the medium difficulty is. It's like Hurt Me Plenty, I think it was. I then did that. I then played the Ancient Gods Part 1. I didn't finish that. I only did UAC Atlantica and the Blood Swamps. I did try the Halt, but I really didn't like it. I streamed it a while ago. Harder difficulty was so intense and so good. You're so more talented than I am. Are we talking like Ultra Nightmare here? Like you get here, you die once and that's kind of it. I think I tried it on Nightmare, and all I remember is just going to one room at the very start, and just like 5 cacodemons just spawning, and we're just like, oh no. It was the hardest difficulty that's streamable. Oh, okay. And then obviously there's the Ancient Gods Part 2. Why must train a co-worker? No worries at all, Jack. We're going to be wrapping up anyway, so yeah, hope the training goes well. And then obviously did all of that. I played the second, because again I didn't finish Ancient Gods Part 1, but I wanted to finish Ancient Gods Part 2, and I already kind of knew the story of Doomslayer creates an embodiment of the devil so he can fight him and kill him. So I knew that much. So I basically went in, did the second DLC at the lowest difficulty, because at that point I just wanted to get through it and start playing Dark Ages, which I really feel like is a step down. Like I like the shield mechanic, but the most noticeable thing for me is the soundtrack. Like I it's difficult to just like the soundtrack for Dark Ages is fine. It's okay, but it's not as incredible as like the you have the battle music in Doom Eternal and it does sound great, but it's like the ambience, and the ambience that I would really go to is the one in the Super Gore Nest, and it's just like that you're just having like that ambient cement noise, and it's just I've not played Dark Ages yet, but I'm so hesitant to hear a soundtrack. It's okay. Like it's not bad. It's fine. Like I think G-Man Lives summarize the best. It's like it gets the job done. Like it, and the people have worked in other games like Borderlands and all that stuff. It's industrial rock. It's exactly what we would expect, but it is a huge, huge step down. Um, if it were up to me, I would have probably again given it to Andrew Holsholt, but obviously he's working on Iron Lung with Markiplier, so it wasn't really available. To be honest, I think it was just a case of bad timing, and obviously they massively pissed off Mick Gordon. And understandably, he was like, "No, I don't want to work with you guys anymore. You suck." Um, like the soundtrack of Doom and Doom Eternal is against you as a player. It's an enemy in the game, and I don't think many other musicians get that. Yeah, it's it's just incredible. It's the sort of I don't really listen to the soundtrack of Doom 2016 all that much. Um, Getting the soundtrack for Doom Eternal is quite hard because there are a lot of unofficial mixes you can hear, but there's no official mix beyond the original CD release. Um, and yeah, just Dark Age is just too generic. My hope is if they do come out with DLC, they somehow manage to get Whole Shot back in. I could go on and on and on. The music's so meta, and I could write an essay about it. I feel like you should. Um, I do find it quite funny that I love Holschult's work. If you can't tell, um, is he got started making fan covers of songs for Doom 1 and 2, and it's quite funny that he ended up being the one to make songs for Ancient Gods. And there's quite a funny story actually of he also made the soundtrack for a game called Parodius, which we played on my channel previously. And apparently the developers didn't even ask him. Apparently he just emailed them and just went, "Hi, I'm Andrew Holsholt. I'm making the game for your soundtrack," and they just went, "All right, fine." Um, yeah, I don't know who else I would get. Right. I have been yapping for nearly an hour and a half. I really should. I should raid out and rest because I've still got work to do tomorrow, and I'm going to a video game night tomorrow night, so I very much do need to be well rested. So let me see who I can raid. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Somebody's streaming their cat. Oh my god. You know what? No, let's do a follower stream today. Let's see who's streaming what I'm following. Honako is doing art. Mothwing is doing art as well. I do quite like Mothwing. Ooh. They've only just started as well. I was gonna say I mean, Sawyer's streaming. I feel like we have followed. I think we have. I haven't got pop out chat, so I can't see everyone annoyingly. Let's let's go with Mothwing, I think, because we've streamed them quite a few times. They've really oh no, they have been live for some time. How long's Sawyer been? He's been live for some time. Okay, so yeah, go on. We've rated Mothwing quite a few times. They are an incredible artist. I love their model. It's so amazing. Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining. It's absolutely fantastic. If you're not part of a Discord already, make sure to join the Discord, exclamation Discord. And again, exclamation mark. I can tell when I'm getting tired because words escape me. Exclamation mark Kofi for the Kofi if you're interested in art commissions or you just want to support the channel. Either way, I will be back next Tuesday. What I will be doing, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I will decide an hour before I go live. But anyways, thank you very much for all tuning in, and I will see you all next week.